I get to do this. I get to do this. I get to do this. That's not for y'all. That's for me. I get to do this. I get to do listen, it's Thursday. I did not record solo on Tuesday. So I'm trying to psych myself up into believing that this podcast is still a great idea. I get to do this. I get to do this. I get to do. I sound like a church volunteer who's sitting in their car finishing off the last bit of their cigarette before they have to be a greeter for 4 services at Joel Osteen's megachurch. I get to do this. I get to do this. I get to do this. I do get to do this. Welcome back to Shallow. It's Thursday. Hold on. Might cut out. It's Thursday, February 5th. Do y'all know what that means? I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means at all. Got a special guest for y'all today. This episode will drop today. Guys, this weekend I'll be in Denver. No, I'm not in Denver. Listen, when you're at this point of a career like I'm in, you play the city 2 hours away from the big city. So I'm in Pueblo, Colorado, which is I think 2 hours from Denver. Yeah. So I'll be there, and then next week I'm on that tour. I think I'm gonna put that in the description, up in Maryland, Delaware, and New Jersey with the great comedian Johnny W. and Ed Wiley. That's next weekend. I can't wait for that. I'm back on a bus for that. It's gonna be my second bus tour ever. So also I'm doing this crazy thing that I'm just driving places. Like the last 2 years, I caught a lot of flights and feelings. No, I caught too many flights, and it was low-key kind of pointless. Like, I'm spending the same amount of time flying as I would have driven, but I also had to wake up early. So I had the option of like flying to Nashville. Did I say option? That's the best joke I've ever said on here. The option. Nobody's covering my travel. Travel not covered. That should be the name of this podcast. Travel not covered. The name of this podcast should be Included in Honorarium. Hey, how about the hotel? How about the rental car? How about the flight? Included in Honorarium. That's not a dig at anybody. No, I didn't have the option of flying. But between the choice, I was like, hey, let me just huff it for 6 hours. Let me just do that. So I'm driving to Nashville, catching the bus next Wednesday. Nah, I'm not going to tell you where. Y'all know how, I know how y'all fans show up. I know how excited y'all are for me. Y'all give me that Michael Jackson in his prime type energy everywhere I'm out in public. So I'll be in Nashville, and then, riding the bus up to, my goodness, I think Maryland. How do you say Maryland? Maryland doesn't sound right. That sounds like a second Michael Jackson theme park that he built at a different house. Maryland. So I'll be up in Maryland, and then riding the bus back. No, actually I'm flying back. I got something in Nashville next week. And then, sheesh. And then after that, I'm home for a couple weeks, and then I'm back out on the road with, I'm in West Virginia, March 6th at a church event. All y'all West Virginia fans, show up. No, I think it's some type of youth event. But after that, I'm on the road with, from West Virginia, first night of the Josiah Queen tour. Starts in Kentucky. I think we're in Lexington, Kentucky. So that'll be really, really fun. Hopefully I run into some of y'all. I don't know if y'all are, I don't know the intersection of Josiah Queen and Shama fans, but I'm going to try to win some of y'all over. The best I can. That's going to be a fun tour. I get to MC. MCing is fun because I get to do little bits of comedy at like 3 minutes at a time. So it doesn't really give people the opportunity to roll their eyes. By the time you're tired of me, you're listening to a great artist. That's the beauty of MCing, is you go in, you get out real quick. People can't even tell that you're struggling. People can't tell if something is good or bad, because before they've made a decision, I'm gone. I'm out. So that's gonna be good. That'll be a good thing. So what's been going on in my world, man? Comedy. I've been doing comedy. I went up twice on Monday. Last night was Wednesday. Today's Thursday. I'm going up tonight. Man, I wish I could get something this weekend, but I should start getting. We got a comedy zone here in town. Maybe featuring for some local traveling comics. That'd be fun. But yeah, comedy. I've been working on some really cool bits. The energy's been good. Just working on my pacing. Yeah, working on just building that out. That's been really fun. I think comedy is I'm trying to rekindle that love. I loved it and then I didn't love it. Now I'm trying to love it again. I tell people that I have a complicated relationship with comedy. Borderline abusive. Because I love comedy. Comedy does not love me back. Comedy I'm really putting myself out there. So the rejection the rejection of my comedy is that's a rejection of me. When you say you're not funny, oh, that wasn't funny. What you're saying when you say that's not funny, what you're really saying is you are trash. That joke that came from your brain, hey, I hate your brain. No, that's different. I need to learn to separate those emotions. Psych, impossible. The first step to being good at comedy is having bad mental health. If you're a stable-minded person, good luck writing a joke. Oh, you're of sound mind? Ugh, you're never going to make it. You have a great outlook on life? Buddy. You're not going to... Honestly, I don't even want to hear... I don't want to hear what you have to say. How about that? I only want to hear from people who are a little... This is... let me put it this way. If I'm at an event and it's in a ballroom, right? It's a ballroom. Depending on, okay, we'll say a ballroom, hotel style event, and then, there's a stage, there's a little buffet, there's a drink station, there's a dessert station. All of those little and then there are little pockets of... I'm setting the room. Then there's the people, right? Then there are the people, okay? Some events that I'm at, there's like a photo kind of backdrop booth area. There are people who are hanging out there, and then there are different people in different groups. I'm always at the group of people, group or couple of people standing next to the trash cans by the door. That's where I live. I remember I used to work for a production company, and oh my gosh, it's snowing outside. Wow, it's snowing outside. Wow. Yeah, it's not cold enough to stick. Hey kids, it's snowing outside. I had to yell at my kids. Wow, this is the third day it snowed. This is so special. It was not going to stick, though. But I remember I worked for a production company, and we'd be at all these events, at these conferences. And and I remember one time I was working with one of the guys I was working with, David. This was like the third or fourth. I can't remember what kind of event. But he was like, yo, why are we always standing by the trash cans? And I thought about that, and now everywhere I am, unless you're at Disney World, then they got trash cans every 5 feet, so we're all the same type of person. But everywhere I am, I'm always like, why does this say something about me as a person? The fact that I gravitate, birds of a feather flock together. I'm trash, so I'm like, let me stand next to the trash, dude. It's so much so where sometimes we'll be like blocking. You get a good group of people around a trash can. Dude, we're playing defense. People have to come up to us and be like, yo, excuse me real quick. We're like, oh, you want to get to the... Yeah, you're not cool enough to hang with us. We're doing insane bits over here at this Reach Records brunch. Oh, man. Oh, guest is on. The guest is on.
Hello.
What's up, man? How you doing?
Good. How about you?
Good, good, good. Yo, welcome to the show. I kind of have been. I recorded a bad 10 minutes off the top. Thanks for saving me, ladies and gentlemen. Isaac Holzwarth is on the show.
Hello.
How are you
This
doing,
is
man?
my first time on a podcast, so this is like this is uncharted territory. We'll see how this goes.
Well, you're starting off on the right podcast because this podcast is. I mean, this isn't even a real podcast.
That is not true. You've got like 25 5-star reviews.
I love that. 25 is the perfect number.
There are other podcasts out there that seem to be doing quite well who do not have their review game on point, and you've got an active, I don't know if you might have just been leaving a new review every time you drop a new episode for all I know. I don't know.
You know what's funny is I have purposefully strayed away from talking to people about leaving a review or subscribing or anything. So you doxing that I have 25 5-star reviews. You are really you're really undressing this show right now.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's so funny. No, it's so funny. No, I gotta leave it in. That's so funny because you're right. Who is this show for? 25 people who are like, I'll give him a star.
No. This is like, see, I went on there the first episode. I was like, this is awesome, and I reviewed it, and then so at that point there was, it was the first episode, and there was just like a few, and by like episode 3, that number had like jumped, that like tripled. So I mean, you just got to keep the momentum going.
I really, you are right. When I was talking to my buddy Chase and PD when they were on the show, I was like, we went to lunch afterwards. Five Guys, by the way. After we talked all that trash about Five Guys, we went to a Five Guys, and I was like, how many downloads does y'all's podcast get making the merge? And they were like, we average 15K a month. I was like, Anyways, I'm not going to finish this burger. I'm out of here. Y'all just made me sick to my core. No. It was good. It's growth, y'all. Don't despise small beginnings. Don't despise small beginnings.
You just got to keep having people on the podcast to draw people in, people like me that,
bringers. I need a real bringer. Dude, this reminded me of a okay, everybody who knows me knows that I'm teetering on whatever success is, whatever fame is, I'm on the outskirts of it. But I didn't realize that wasn't cemented until I went to, oh my goodness, where was I? Dairy Queen. I went to Dairy Queen. There's a local Dairy Queen, and we always go to the drive-thru. We'll get something for the family. It's on the way home. It's one of those places that's like on the way home, where if you're married, you have kids, like you're like, I could make everybody's day right now by making this left turn and this right turn into Dairy Queen.
Yeah. Right.
Everybody, yes. The world would be right if I got this whole family of 5 blizzards right now. And sometimes I'll do that. And one time I went by myself to pick up blizzards to take home. And dude, the dude at the window was like, yo, you look familiar. Do you make like videos? And I was like, yeah. And he goes, yo, keep it up, bro. Keep grinding. Yo, keep it up. And then he turned my blizzard upside down and then he handed it to me. And I drove away and I went, how bad is my career that the guy working the drive-thru at Dairy Queen has to encourage me?
Yeah, no kidding. And like keep grinding as if you're like toiling away.
Yeah. It's just like, hey man, maybe one day you'll afford Cold Stone Creamery. Get upside down, handed it to me.
Right.
Yikes! This is not even real ice cream, big dog. You made VeggieTales remix, and you can't afford. You can't afford. What is that one place? You can't afford Jenny's. Upside down. Yeah. Here you go. Okay, I've not. Oh, my mic's going in and out. That's embarrassing. I haven't even finished the proper introduction. All the way from South Dakota. Am I right?
That's right. Yes.
Isaac, you
South
are
Dakota.
South Dakota SD represent. Isaac, you are an artist, an entrepreneur, which is a fun word to say.
Whoa.
I can't spell it. But I am one, and you are one. And
that's right. But I don't like to use that term just because you think of entrepreneur and you hear I'm here in my garage, and
dude, you are absolutely right. He like nuked that. He nuked that for all entrepreneurs.
He really did.
Anybody who's starting a business in their garage, they're like, "What the heck? Ty Lopez? Is that you?" Like, no.
Yeah, I'm like, I gotta find a new term. I don't know what that is yet, but I gotta find something.
Also, it wasn't his whole thing like I read a book in a day, and come to find out, he just like skims through books in a day. And it was like, that's not real.
Well, he just went to Goodwill and got like the golden. Oh man, I just totally nuked that joke too. What are they called? The golden, the old ones from the 50s.
No, I don't know what those are. Oh yeah,
like the little children's books. What is that called?
Yeah, the golden. I can't remember. You. I think you're the first person to reference that to me. The golden, the golden back, golden spine books. I know what you're talking about.
Oh my gosh,
yeah.
we sound so dumb right now.
He was getting those books. He was getting those books and crushing them.
A book a
Hold
day.
on a second. Hold on a second. Gold spine books. Typing with one hand, man. Gold spine children's books. What did they have a name? Little Golden Books. That's what they were called, right?
Little Golden. It's like right there. Little Golden Books.
Golden Books. Yeah. That's what he was crushing. That's a mark of a real entrepreneur.
I just made myself a cup of coffee, and I want to make sure that when I like drink it,
we got to get that good slurp in.
Slurps
like that. Slurps like that.
I mean,
you might get this podcast up to 26 5-star reviews. Isaac,
ASMR in the deep end.
Hey, how did everybody discover ASMR? Because the first time somebody explained it to me, or I think I stumbled on a video on YouTube, I remember being like, "Yo, this is nasty. What is this?
Well, okay, so
is this gonna be gross?
This is my take
like
on it.
Sensual?
It is gross.
And it's not.
Well, that's definitely true. I mean, it's always it is often a lady who's not there just for the sounds. We'll put it that way. That is like I think there's a duality there. But
it's
I will say, I think ASMR is because like, see, people used to like carve and like do lots of things with their hands. Yeah. And like, I don't know if you've ever, even just like whittling, that kind of like, hands-on thing and like all the little noises and sounds. And I think it's like going to the gym. We have to replace all of our actual tactile senses with some lady with a big microphone with bubble wrap and sticky pudding or something.
Yeah. Which is, I guess, like, kids are doing ASMR all the time. Toddlers. Every time I see my kids, they're humming, they're tapping, they're doing something. My son got into whistling. I don't know why we taught him to whistle. Oh my gosh. The amount of times that I've said, go whistle in your room. But as an adult, people now are just sort of like, hey, what if I listen to somebody do those things instead of doing them myself? That's like the first time I saw somebody watching video gameplay, and I'm like, whoa. This was the worst part of playing video games with your siblings. Watching somebody else play. Why are we doing that?
Right.
And they're like, no, it's the good, they're better than me. No, that sucks. No, I want to be good. You're not going to get better by watching somebody else. Great. I don't know though.
Yeah, the whole I for a time I have watched like speed running videos, but this is the thing is I'm kind of watching like I go to the zoo. I'm not like an active participant, but I kind of am like, oh man, some guy just dropped a 3-hour video on speed running The Hobbit from the original Xbox, a game that almost nobody has heard of, and I'm like, I have to watch this video because I grew up playing this game, and I'm gonna see what this guy does. I'm like, wow, he can beat it in 2 hours. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And it's like it's entertaining
like, it took
to
me
watch
all
from
summer.
an outside perspective.
Yeah.
I'm like, also maybe get a life, but then I also enjoy it. So I don't really know how I feel about that. I feel conflicted.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, like sometimes, and this is like, I don't want to be mean to anyone who engages in speedrunning because it does involve like a dedication of a kind. But like there'll some of the videos of like the top like Mario 64 speedrunners, they like break the world record and then literally like they start crying and their mom walks into the room and hugs them and is like, oh, congratulations. And I'm like, what?
The idea of me playing a video game while my mom is in the other room live streaming it on a TV.
Well, no, I don't understand that at all because, like, yeah, she's just watching. That's so funny. My mom
Are you winning,
still just like makes my mom will still act it like when I was 12 years old. You know, I'd like sit in front of the screen for like 3 hours, and my mom would be like, "Okay, that's enough." You know, and now I have kids. I barely play video games. But if my mom sees me with a console, she's like, "Oh, he's about to disappear for a few hours." And I'm like, "No, this never happens anymore. I'm not 12."
You can't be. I've told people that I'm like, I don't own a system or anything. Like, I think I had a PS5 that I bought off a dude. It was really just sort of like, hey, man, I need cash. This guy was like, I need cash. I was like, shoot, I got cash, man. Like, you know, let me hold that PS5. If anything, I'll flip it. Dude, I had it for like 6 months and turned it on 3 times. This is because I have an addictive personality. And I'm like, yo, I can't get, you know, I'm already addicted to YouTube. Like, I can't add another addiction in the mix.
Right. And that's, I mean, I have like retro consoles. I have a Nintendo 64. Yeah. And, you know, that's my main one. That's like, that's the one I grew up with. That's why I like playing that. But I do have a Nintendo Switch. But like, I can't get a Switch 2 until like the Switch 3 comes out. Cause like, you know, we'll play Mario Party or Mario Kart every once in a while, but it's like once in a blue moon. You know, it's like really rare that we actually have the time to play anything. Every once in a while, I'll play a little Fortnite, which is like weird because that's cringy, like to even play Fortnite. But I've never bought anything. I don't buy anything in those online games.
You don't want to buy a skin? With like the you don't want to buy $30 skin? You want to buy digital clothes for your digital character?
No, I've earned like 1 or 2 weird ones that they give away for free. And I just cycle through those, and it's really funny because I'm decent at it. And so whenever I eliminate somebody, I'm like, oh, they thought I was a noob, and I've actually been playing for a while because I don't buy anything, so I don't.
I just don't spend money in here, loser. That's funny. That's funny.
But every once in a while I'll get back in for something, but I don't play very much anymore.
Occasionally, my my barber will. I love my barber. This dude is tardy, the most tardy person I've ever met in my life. He's gotten better, though. And it's at a point now, like, he's been late. I mean, dude, you're like, oh, he's been late, what, 3 times? Dude, north of 10. I'm talking, this guy is prolific. But now I'm not even ashamed to show up late. Just because I'm like, there's a good chance you're also late. So I'm going to beat you to your own
hold
game.
on. So like, so this is because like in my little town, any of the, you know, the barbers or the salons, they're just there all day and you walk in and they're there.
No,
what do you mean he's late?
He's gone? So he works at a, they're only 2 barbers and he does appointment only. So you have to schedule it in the app. Okay. Or whatever. And so he'd be like, yo, 7 a.m. is available. And yo, I'm going to do 7 a.m. Bro, I'm pulling up. I'm there by myself. So then he'll text me like, yo, my bad, woke up late. And then he'll pull up. And but the thing is, he's an incredible barber. So it's like, bro, if you were bad, I would never do this. But dude, he'll come up and he'll be like, yo, dude, I was playing game last night. I was playing GTA last night till like 3 a.m. I was like, dog, you've got 3 kids. When do you have time to stay up? I mean, I guess you have to stay up till 3 a.m. to play friggin' 2K, but I'm like, when do you? Who's letting you do this, bro? Is your wife must be chill?
The last thing I want to do is sit in a chair with some guy who's got clippers and a scissors who's telling me about the game he was just playing late at night where you like murder people.
No. He's the best in the game. If he killed me, I'd still, I would be the flyest looking dead person. Dude, yeah. Also, hair doesn't grow once you die, right? So you would pull up, people would see me in the casket. They'd be like, golly, that lineup looks crisp. You're like, man, what an incredible fade. Gone but not forgotten, that's for sure. People would actually take selfies with my corpse. That's how fresh I'd look.
Oh my
Because it would just look like I'm chilling in a box with a suit and my eyes closed.
Right.
I didn't even. Okay, I got to get back to it's minute 25. I got to get to the introduction. Isaac, you're one. By the end of this episode, I will have introduced you. You are a father, South Dakota native, entrepreneur, and you're also an artist. You are what kind of? You are a drawer, a painter.
But I'm kind of that like jack of all trades. I'm a dabbler. So I'm trying to like find my actual zone. I'm like a little bit good at a lot of things, and I haven't, really. I get distracted, and I'm like, oh, maybe I'll try this, maybe I'll try that, and then I haven't like mastered any of them yet.
The irony is you don't understand that that's all artists. No, all artists are like, I suck, I'm bad, I'm figuring it out, I'm learning. It's like, no. Yeah, but you're still better than than most people. That's why you are.
Yeah, that's probably true. That's probably true. But I can't draw a person to save my life. I can draw a cartoon
what are you
person.
talking about?
But,
okay. Okay, but
I can draw a cartoon person.
How often do you want to draw a real I don't know. Tell me about the levels. Maybe explain that to me.
Okay, so I mean, it's like I would like to be able to draw the human figure so that I could, I don't know, animate something that's more impressive than a worm munching on a leaf, and like so I can do the cartoon stuff pretty well. But then like when I see someone else doing like really fancy figure drawing, or like when you look at classic Disney movies, I'm like, oh, I can't do that, And
you can't do that yet, Isaac. You're still young. Yeah. What are you talking about, man? You sound like me talking about my comedy career, man. You're making it sound like you're at the end of your days.
Well, I do. What I get distracted with side quests, where so like right now behind me, I've got this set up here with I went to my local thrift store and I bought a whole bunch of VHS tapes, and I'm shooting a little lyric video for someone.
Heck yeah, I love that.
And so I've got this like tube TV and a bunch of VHS tapes stacked back there.
That's awesome.
And I think this little project might be probably one of the best things I've ever shot on camera.
That's awesome.
Partially because my older brother actually knows what he's doing, and he gave me some tips on lighting.
Yeah.
But I think it's gonna look pretty great. And so that's all I really care about is whatever I do, I just want it to be a little better than the thing that I made last time. And as long as that happens, or as long as I feel like I improved in some way, then I'm happy. But,
that's also,
I do a lot of random stuff.
That's all you're in control of, though. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like with the internet, everybody has to kind of do a lot of stuff. It's like, somebody asked me last night at a comedy show, they were like, yo, who edits your videos? And I was like, dog, me. What are you talking about? I have to learn and do all this stuff all the time. Mainly because I can't afford to hire somebody, but also even if I could, I love doing it.
Right. Well, and like we bought a real dumper of a house that we thought we were going to be able to just like paint and trim, whatever, and we ended up gutting the whole thing. And so at this point, I have done electrical, I've done plumbing, I've done mudding and taping. Like I can like renovate a house now, and like last night I was up until 1:00 in the morning painting the baseboards in my son's soon to be room because we've been trying to get that done for like a year, and
Sheesh.
So like there's all these things that by the time I'm done with the project, I'm like, oh, I'm kind of decent at that. And then I'm never going to do it again,
Okay. Now with the house, would you do it again?
Yeah.
You would?
Well, okay, I would, except that I think there would be a couple of qualifiers. One, I would like to have a little more money before starting next time. Because like we thought we were going to do a simple refresh, and we are like, we have a few $1,000s, we can pull off a simple refresh. And what that turned into was staying at the parents' house for a year as a, we'd been married for like 1 year. We didn't have kids yet or anything. So, we stayed at the parents for a year while we got the house livable. And livable meant we had a flushing toilet, and we're like the bathroom was done. And then like the living room and the bedroom were done enough that we could like, kind of take over that space. But we lived without a kitchen, like a proper kitchen, for probably 6 months. And we were like washing our dishes in the bathroom sink,
What were y'all working with here? Did y'all just have like one air fryer on a table? One coffee machine?
Yeah, we did. No, that's literally, we had a hot plate on a folding, like a card table in the kitchen. And then we had like a couple of appliances that we had, running to the outlet. So like it was rough, but my wife is a real trooper, and she did very, very well. And it was just the two of us. We didn't have kids, obviously. If we had kids, that wouldn't have worked.
Yeah.
But so we were able to just, we've just cash flowed it, like every month we just dedicate a certain amount and we go, okay, what can we do with this? And we just slowly work on it.
And this month you were like, I'm getting to those baseboards. I'm finally finishing those baseboards.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. My mom came over yesterday and helped me paint, and we're like getting it done. It only gets harder and harder to finish the project the closer and closer you get to the end for some reason. So,
okay, I was thinking about this recently. So I did this job one time. I was on a shoot a couple months ago with a friend who just hit me up randomly. He's like, yo, do you want to help film this thing down in Charleston? I was like, yeah, absolutely. And I'm like, what is it? And he goes, they're moving a tree. They're moving like a 300-year-old tree. That's, sheesh, I think it weighed like 400,000 pounds. They were moving it, I want to say like 500 feet or something, like something insane.
Like moving meaning they were replanting?
They were literally moving the tree on air tubes. Like they had the tree, it was a process that they started a year in advance. This company that moves mature trees. I gotta Google them, but
wow.
So then they prep the tree. They put these like, interlocking, like steel pipes under it, draft style under this tree, and then on the day they dig out around the root ball of this tree. It's like flat. It's not a ball. It's really like a flat kind of table bed roots, and then they line air tube. They fill up these big air tubes. And they put 4 of them, and then 2 tractors, like a forklift is moving the air tubes, and then 2 tractors are dragging the root of the tree, like the pipes, not the roots, the pipes under the tree onto the airbags, and then then the forklift is moving the tubes out from the back up to the front, and they're dragging it. Dude, it was the most incredible human feat that I've ever seen with big machines. And the thing was, so we started filming at like 8 a.m., right? Like early. And they were like, yeah, the tree should be over there by 5 p.m. But they said 4 p.m. because there's a ceremony going on. So I was like, okay. And bro, nothing was happening the first 2 hours. and we're there filming. And I remember being like, yo, I told the guy I was with, I was like, yo, Daniel, I don't think they're going to move this tree. And also, we've already checked out of our hotel room. Like, I don't want to stay another day. We're going to have to charge the client more money to stay another day if they finish tomorrow. Like, what is going to go? And bro, they started moving this tree, nothing. And then occasionally we'd film, it'd be like, oh, the tree's there now. Dude, they got it there by 4. So it was like,
wow.
It looked like nothing was happening while something was happening the whole time. Anyways, that's what construction is like to me, where you're like, hey, they're never going to finish it. But also, slowly but surely, stuff gets done when you're not paying attention.
That's right, exactly. And it is like sometimes like the baseboard on the main floor never even got installed, and now we have all of our stuff, so like when it comes time to do that, we'll have to move everything into the middle of the room and do all that. And it's like, it's easy to get dejected. You're like walking around the house going like, man, I have not finished this house. My family is living in a half finished house. But then I'm like, well, let's just remember what it looked like. And the fact that we literally gutted the entire thing. And then I feel a little more proud of it,
Yeah.
But
yeah.
it's like,
As
you know,
you
and my
should.
wife is always like, I asked her the other day, I was like, would you rather live in the house we live in now in its current state for another 10 years? Or would you rather live in like a cookie cutter house over in, a nice little neighborhood? And she looked at me and was like, are you nuts? She's like, I love this house. And I was like, oh, that's good. That makes me feel good.
Sweat equity. Yeah. Dude, you're going like full Ryan Gosling in The Notebook, man. You're like doing something. I live in a cookie, says the guy in his cookie cutter house.
Hey, there is no shame in a cookie cutter house because you have finished baseboard and I'm jealous.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, real quick, let me finish the introduction. The way we got connected.
Yes, we got to figure out who I am by the end of this.
Hopefully people will. Minute 36. The way we got connected was my good friend, former guest on the show, Jonathan Wright. Jonathan was working on a video, a Forrest Frank video that he did, and the whole time he was like, yo, I got this guy doing the artwork, like these transitions for me. And I was like, oh, bet. And so he sent me a rough version of the video, and I saw and I was like, yo, this is really cool. And so he was like, yeah, Isaac did him. Isaac crushed it. He's great. And so then I just hadn't put two and two together. I'd seen your name on Instagram. There were a couple of names that I've seen like consistently. We probably DM'd back and forth a couple times. And then I don't know what happened. I don't know how I connected the dots. Either you had posted something or Jonathan had posted something and tagged you. And I was like, yo, you did all like the folder transition video, like artwork for Jonathan's video. And so then I followed you. I'm like, yo, that was so clean. And then we hopped on, I think, Google Meet. We hopped on a video call back in December, right after Christmas, and we yapped for a long time about this other project I was working on. That's the introduction. That's how we met. I consider all friends of my friends. Mutual friends are my friends automatically. If you know somebody that knows me, that's it. We're friends for life.
Yeah, I mean, I've been exclusively liking posts on Instagram at this point based on whether or not you and Jonathan have popped up in the corner as people who have also liked that thing.
That's dangerous. I'm always very careful about what I like for that reason. Occasionally, dude, I'm so paranoid. Occasionally, it's not that I'm like on the wildest side of Instagram, but like
but like
you have to be, yeah.
Yeah, well, because they like to pull tricks on you too, where like they'll make these videos that look like they're like they're a joke that you're supposed to send to somebody, and in the last 10 seconds they like really throw something wild out there and you're like, oh, I gotta go delete that. I can't.
Like, sheesh. Yeah, I'll go through my likes sometimes, like my activities, just to make sure that everything I've liked is kosher. Like, just to make sure I haven't double tapped on something accidentally that I don't condone of. Because I feel like people
yeah, exactly.
People will like piece together your belief system and whatnot and your political leanings, which is the thing. I either have a belief system or a political leaning. All right. I get videos from both sides from the elephant and the donkey. And if it's funny, I'm like, ha ha ha. But I don't care. Isaac, we have something in common. This is where I turn into it. This is where I turn into an interviewer. Isaac, you and I, we're not too different. You and I, we grew up in Royal Rangers.
Yes, we did.
You had texted me. Royal Rangers is like my wake word. Royal Rangers powwow Pinewood Derby. Dude, if I was in a coma, whisper those into my ear. Which is something that I don't hear a lot of people talk about. What was your experience with Royal Rangers?
Okay, so yeah, we had like a really good Royal Rangers program at our church for a while.
Oh yeah, hold on a second.
Basically,
I realize that most people might not know. Royal Rangers was like
oh,
the evangelical equivalent of Boy Scouts.
yes, yep,
That's
yep.
it. We got
Yeah,
we
you
got
had
patches and badges and all
the
those
vests
things
and everything.
Yeah.
Yep.
So continue.
So we had one guy, actually my best friend's dad growing up, who basically headed up the Wednesday night, Royal Rangers stuff. And he got, my dad and several of the other dads like really heavily involved. And he's a doctor. And so he has some money, and he just poured into it. Like it was, he would do big camping trips. And I'm sure that the church was obviously partially paying for that too, but I know that he put tons of his own personal time and effort into like making Royal Rangers a good program. And so, we did, we'd show up on Wednesday nights. Actually, so we lived half an hour out of town. And so, our Wednesday night started at, I think it either started at 7 or 6:30, and Adventures in Odyssey came on when we left our house. So we would literally listen to an episode of Adventures in Odyssey on the way to church. And then we'd stop at, KFC or, a little burger place, whatever. We'd like stop and get food, or we'd go to Taco John's. Have you ever heard of Taco John's?
No, I don't think we have that out here.
Okay, we'll talk about that later. Okay, so anyway, we'd stop at a place, and we would like roll into the parking lot, and we'd finish our food as like Adventures in Odyssey was kind of finishing for the last couple minutes, and then we'd like go into church.
Dude, what you just described is the most early 2000s evangelical experience of all time.
Bring it back. Like, I have such fondness for that. I will recreate that for my kids if we can. When we'd go in, we played a game called Ragtag almost every night. That was like that was what we did, as we were waiting for people to kind of filter in. And it was like dodgeball kind of, but what we would do is we'd go into the kitchen, and we'd get like a white dish rag, and you tie it into a knot. And so then, so what you do is that goes in like the middle of the floor or on one end of the room. Cause we were in like, the big room. I don't know if you had a big room.
We did. We had gymnasium.
And so, so everyone would line up on the wall, and you put your hand on the wall, and then, whoever was in charge would say like, 3, 2, 1, go. And everyone would race, and whoever got to the rag first then could basically throw it at someone else. And if you got hit, you're out. And so then basically the rule was that if you picked up the rag, you could take 3 steps. So anytime someone threw the rag, if it just like landed on the floor, whoever was nearby could pick it up, and everyone would scatter and run to the other end, and then you could have 3 steps to find, a place to try and hit someone else with it. So we played that like every night. And then of course we'd get into Royal Rangers. And so we all had to bring our vests, and then we would, stand up in our rows. And I don't know how you guys did this, but he always was like, we had the Christian flag and the Royal Ranger flag.
Oh,
and
buddy,
the
all
United
the way.
States of America flag.
Yeah.
And he would make us stand at attention, and then he would say at ease. And he was like, we were like in the middle of a little Christian military.
Oh, bro. And it was cosplay. It was military cosplay.
It really was. And honestly, I loved it. I thought it was great. I really, really enjoyed it. And, he ran that program super well, and we had lots of involved dads. So when we came to like Pinewood Derby cars, there was extra dads around to help. Like we used the bandsaw and everything, and we'd like, carve out our cars, and and then we have a paint. We did model rockets and stuff like that. Like it was a good time. But I really loved all of our we did lots of camping trips and fishing trips.
Which hold on, we called them powwows.
Yeah.
Did I say we?
Well, so
they called them pow. I wasn't like on the forefront of this, but now apparently that's like a controversial term. That's Native American.
But you got a
man.
history though, right? Didn't you? You dressed up as a Native American in school though too, right?
I did.
You got like
I owe Native American people an apology every day for the rest of my life. I was going to powwows. I dressed up as a Native American.
You can give me. You can give me like a 1% apology, because according to our family, like our genealogy, I am apparently like 0.5% of one of these tribes.
Hey, half percent apology goes to you right off the bat. I'm dropping it right now. Take that with you.
Good, because you were about to be in deep trouble there. But yeah, the powwow. So we would do camping trips that were like Royal Rangers related, but then we would have the annual powwow that was like the big one. The other Royal Ranger crew. Yeah. And so for us that was in Pierre, South Dakota, which everyone outside of South Dakota calls Pierre because it's a French name Pierre, but for some reason we all here call it Pierre.
Wow,
like we're looking off into the distance.
Okay, with the big powwow, what was the first ceremony? Would they light a big torch?
I don't remember that. I think we did like a bonfire.
Okay.
I think we might have just had a big bonfire or something.
That stays on the whole whole weekend or whatever.
No. Oh, is there? Oh, maybe. Oh, you know what? I think you might be right.
Yeah.
Yeah, some kind of see. Yeah,
I realize what we're describing right now does sound a little cultish. just a bunch of boys and men.
Did you guys do like the hard boiled egg contest and the fire building contest and stuff like that?
I think we did the fire building. We did the fire building contest. And then we had archery and a bunch of other stuff too.
Yeah. I mean, we did some weird ones, and I don't know whose idea they were, but we did one once that was it was you had to mix pancake batter as a team, and then you had to make your pancake, and then you had to have one of your players throw the pancake in discus form, and so you got like 10 pancake throws. So it was you were like, okay, is it better for the pancake to be like black and crispy, or is it better for the pancake to be kind of floppy? Like, what's going to work better? And then you'd pick like the biggest, strongest guy. But the rule was that the pancake had to stay intact or else it didn't count, you know? And
burn it to a crisp. Burn it to a crisp.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but then it would shatter in the air when you try to throw it, you know? So like that was a really interesting one.
Real quick, what does this have to do about Jesus? What does this have to do about Royal Rangers? We pledged allegiance to the American flag and the Christian flag and the Royal Ranger flag, and now we're throwing pancakes? Come on. Come on.
I mean, I'm not going to lie.
I'm sleeping in a sleeping bag for this? No. Of course, bro. You're talking about it decades later. All that stuff is important.
I think that there's a huge kind of hole in the way that we're like raising boys in general. They are not getting to run out in the backyard throwing pancakes nearly as much as they need to. Like, I feel like I think that was like a huge, you know, there was a lot of growth that happens when you are just with a whole bunch of other guys playing competitive games over something like throwing a pancake. There's something good about that. It's wholesome.
Oh yeah, I think that's the thing with I remember watching because part of my whole upbringing is moving back to Africa when I was 11 years old. So having this Bible Belt evangelical experience with all the things, Royal Rangers, all the Adventures in Odyssey, Chick-fil-A, that's a spiritual experience. And then moving to East Africa. And so I remember coming back from 11 to 18. I probably came back to the States like 4 or 5 times and realizing that all of those things were kind of decreasing in importance. Like Royal Rangers was nobody. Hey, I'm talking like, hey, you still Royal Rangers? Now, hey, Commander Julian, are you still Commander Julian? No, I'm just Mr. Julian now. I'm no longer a commander. I'm like, come on. So all of those things. And so now it's like Royal Rangers is like a thing of the past. But I'm like, hey, it was cool. Like I feel like that my son, who's six and a half now, like that's something that he would take pride in. Of like, dude, I earned a badge. For sure. A guy learned how to tie a knot, start a fire.
I mean, I really did not to get like too deep, but I think that because someone's got to say that every podcast. I feel like, you know,
because you can't listen, or else I kick you off. I kick you off. You get too deep on here,
right? I think that parental involvement in things seems to have really like dropped off. And you got to have a lot of like really willing parents who have that kind of fun side to them that don't mind just like kind of doing crazy dumb stuff with kids. And then also kids these days are so pacified with, you know, being on tablets that they literally don't care to go run around and play games. Like I know I sound like a boomer, but I think that's true. I mean, like,
bro,
we're doing our best to avoid that completely.
But also as a, my wife and I too, we actually got our kids, our two oldest kids, iPads a couple of years ago, and dude, it lasted. Got them for Christmas. It lasted for like 3 months. We put those things up on a shelf. They didn't come down for like a year and a half, up until I just gave them away recently. And it's
that's awesome. It's like, I'm really happy to hear that.
We just gave them away, but also we were like, they only had 30 minutes. And here's the thing, like we had them strict, like they only got 30 minutes a day, period. And so, like, it never was out at a restaurant, which, listen, I know other parents are cool with that. But I'm not trying to yuck anybody's yum, but, like, we never did any of that.
I'm not afraid.
Yuck their yum. But it was just one of those things where, like, hey, we're going to draw these lines. And even the lines that we drew, which were minimal, were still too much. And so, we had to, like, go back. We had to go back on that. I will say, though, it is just easier. So, like, dude, if you're trying to check out or if you're trying to get some extra Z's or have less noise, bro, turn on the screen. Like, right, I'm not trying to say that. I'm anti-screen.
That's on Saturdays, we let our 2-year-old like pick, an episode of, he likes the Peanuts. He likes the
that's a good time.
The Great Pumpkin. He calls it he just calls it like what is it called? The Charlie Brown Ghost episode, or the Ghost Pumpkin or something like that.
It's a goated episode. And, it's incredible.
Or we'll watch like Veggie Tales. He loves Madame Blueberry, which I think is like the best episode that they ever made. Honestly, I laughed so hard watching that. So like we let him watch like 1 or 2 episodes of something, and we try to stick to classics. We don't do any of that like, Miss Rachel or any like the weird like YouTube poop style children's entertainment.
Bro,
I'm like, let's do Bob the Builder. Let's do Blue's Clues.
Yeah,
back when
low calorie.
Yeah, exactly. It's like we go over to some people's house for like life group, and they'll have a show on, and it's crack for kids, and they're all
it's like a visual assault.
And I'm like, what in the world?
Yeah. I'm zoning at the screen. That's how I'm like, what the heck?
Yeah, I was gonna say I get distracted. I'm like watching, cookies get cut into shapes, and then little monsters gobble them up, and I'm like, wow, this is cool. I'm excited.
And then they'll be like, oh, how many cookies did I gobble? And you're like, 4. So I'm like, hey, my kid learned how to count, but at what cost?
Yeah, see, my kid is learning how to count when we like make cookies at home, and then we're like, hey, let's count the cookies, and he goes 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 10, and we're like, great job.
Yeah, you're like, you know what? At least the numbers. We'll work on the order part.
Yeah, I mean, and hey,
the fact that you know them,
he'll get there.
Yeah. Okay, so
but I think at our church, Royal Rangers decreased from everyone bringing their vests, and everyone like, man, we were so involved. And by the time I was like getting out of Royal Rangers, and we actually moved churches, and then I wasn't going to be like a part of the Royal Rangers anyway. But by the time I was like a older teenager, it got to the point where they were just having kids wear a shirt and not any vest, because the kids wouldn't bring their vests. Like the parents weren't on top of it, the kids weren't on top of it, and then eventually it just died. It just died.
I would, bro. Listen. I won Buckaroo of the Year for the state of South Carolina in 2001. I got a trophy the size of my torso. Okay, I would wear a bolo tie. I would wear a short sleeve red button down shirt tucked into my jeans. Okay, it had a collar. All right, that's how I pulled up the Royal Rangers. I was proud.
Yep.
Little boys aren't proud of anything anymore. Welcome back to Shallow.
It's so true. But what I am most proud of is, and this is, you might have to include this in your thumbnail with me, is this was my, I don't know if it's got a date on it, but this was my favorite Pinewood Derby car that I ever made.
Sheesh.
And it's a Larry boy.
Oh man. Hey, y'all.
Okay,
hey, kids.
And like,
that's history right there. History right there.
What you're looking at. I just realized this morning, missed opportunity here. I really should have tried to paint these wheels red for the plungers instead of just painting on the side of his head. But hey, you know what? This was like, my dad helped me make this, And this was, he says he's not artistic, but he did a great job helping me with that.
Yeah.
So I like this.
Snap
is my
a picture
favorite,
of that. Snap a picture of that and send it to me.
I will. And I got like second place that year. I got beat out by the kid who made the same car every year, because he made it one year and it won. So he just made the exact same car for like 4 years in a row and got first place every single time. And meanwhile, I've got a box of like, I've got Larry the Cucumber, and then I've got like a rainbow car, and I tried something new every year because I wanted to just make something cool. And this kid made his little shark fin car,
Hey, if it
I tried. Oh, go ahead.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. That kid learned that early. He was like, I won 4 years ago. How about I pull up with the same thing?
I don't know. I had more fun for sure. But one year I tried to game the system. I got a Pinewood Derby car book about how to make the fastest Pinewood Derby cars. And one of the things in there was, when the pin drops, the key is you want there to be the nose at the front of your car needs to be as high as possible, so that as soon as that pin drops, your car starts rolling before anybody else who's got a big fat front on their car. So I went all out, and and the design in this car involved putting a paper clip across the front so that it was like as thin as possible. And I was like, I'm going to win. And then I get there and I realize I made a crucial error, which is that our track didn't have things that pulled down. They flipped forward. So it completely destroyed my over-engineered Pinewood Derby car.
Oh,
and then
man.
I didn't win.
Sheesh.
That was crushing.
Old Shark Fin boy won. And that's
yes, he did.
I don't know what the lesson in that is.
4 years in a row.
That's funny. That's wild. Okay, well, hit me with some other 90s, your 90s evangelical upbringing from South Dakota. Your maximum Midwest Christianity.
Oh, man. I mean, we did, I don't know. We did like potlucks and things like that. We had like the church picnic, and it was always lots of Midwest hot dishes. And
okay,
I'm sure
what are y'all cooking? What are y'all cooking in the Midwest? What is going on over there?
It's sometimes really appalling. Some of them are quite good, but some of them it's basically a hot dish is either it's like some form of starch. So you got like potatoes, you've got rice that you can choose from, and then you've got some type of meat. So it's either going to be ground beef, or it's going to be cubed chicken, or something of that sort. And then you've got like vegetables. And then you have some sort of like a sauce or a gravy. So sometimes it's a tomato sauce, or sometimes it's like, most of the time it's a can of like cream of chicken soup, or a can of like cream of mushroom soup. And so
sorry, man, why were y'all eating like y'all were in prison? This is a potluck.
Really it's
tomato
often,
sauce.
It is tan. It's white food for white people. Like it's white, and it's like maybe salted and peppered, if you're lucky. It really is
white
like,
food
it's
for white people.
It all kind of looks the same on the table. Everyone's brought their own hot dishes, and they're like, and you're lucky if you get, potato chips crumbled on top, or cheese that's crisped on top.
Get all the way out, please. Hey, end of podcast. You said you're lucky if you get potato chips crumbled up.
Yes, because it gives a nice salty crunch, because oftentimes people, they put the rice and the chicken and the cream of mushroom soup in there and some broccoli, and then it just kind of is this like mush, And so if you get like the crispy potato chips on top, that kind of is like it adds enough that you're like, oh, this is salty and it's tasty.
We gotta evacuate all of y'all from the Midwest. We gotta save
some
y'all.
Of us are trying. Okay, so here's what we try really hard when we're like gonna go to a potluck or something. We try to make something that's a little, either something more like a lasagna, or because like the other thing that's really big at the potlucks is the macaroni salads. I don't know if that that might still be a thing that you guys do. I'm not a fan.
Me neither. Well, I like macaroni hot. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. I'm like, ooh, look at this nice dish. There's little pepperonis, and I'm like, this is some kind of mac and cheese. And then you get it, and it's
ice
cold, and it smells like olives.
Ice cold.
And it's like, oh no. So yeah, that was kind of like, what we tended to eat, at like potlucks and stuff. But then someone would always bring like a big bucket of fried chicken that would have like 10 pieces, and you would never get any because the first 10 people through would go for the fried chicken, and that was it.
Oh,
I imagine
tragic.
I imagine when in your area, when you guys have like a potluck or thing, I imagine lots of people are bringing like barbecue and stuff, right?
Oh,
like, I imagine
yeah.
there's like a lot of that
growing
going
up
on.
when I lived in South Carolina, oh, bro, people would throw down, bro. They would
Yeah.
Sheesh. The church I grew up, I guess my home church when I was a kid in South Carolina, Florence, we would do all the food in a gym, like on the basketball court. Dude, sometimes the table would go from end of the court, from like goal to goal on the wall. It was, dude, there would be a whole other, like 4 tables of just dessert. Dude, we would all leave with belly aches. That's how much we were eating. There was like 4 types of barbecue, like all kinds, like buckets of fried chicken. Dude, people, by the end of every potluck in the Bible Belt, there is a middle-aged, heavy-set lady begging people to take food home with them. That's how much food there was. It's please.
At our potlucks, basically anything that's lasagna, fried chicken, anything that's like not one of the hot dishes basically gets eaten. And then whoever just has their hot dish left over takes it home because no one's going to take it.
Yeah, you're like, nobody's dude, people fight over things here. That's how, oh my gosh. Our church does, our church does brunch church sometimes. And, dude, same thing. There's always way too much food. And then towards the end of it, and they're like, hey, you want to fix a plate? Dude, and like all the good things have been eaten, but there's still a bunch of stuff left, man.
Yep.
Yeah, but that's different. We're gonna get you guys. We're gonna send some relief to the Dakotas for you guys. I'm gonna load up some B-52 bombers, and listen, we're gonna drop some fried chicken on South Dakota. No. I'm gonna kill you guys with flavor. I'm gonna.
Okay. All right. I welcome that. Man, I saw you.
I'm gonna drop some ribs.
Yeah, I mean, I saw you cooking those ribs. I don't know if you saw my comment, but I was like, "Can I come over? I can be there in 21 hours."
You should. You should have. Those were some good ribs, man. No,
they looked amazing.
A couple of years ago, so I didn't cook, and then I didn't I remember my mom, before I graduated, my mom was like, when you leave, you're going to miss my cooking. And and she said that like a threat. And I remember being like, what are you talking, dude? I'm going to have money and I'm going to have McDonald's. That's all I'm going to have. And then cut to me in college, freaking gaining 40 pounds my freshman year because I ate Bojangles where I worked. And which Bojangles is just fried chicken and biscuits. And then after that, I was like, yo, I need to learn how to cook. And then after I got married, I was like, I need to get better at learning how to cook. And then a couple years ago, I was like, yo, I need to get a smoker to learn how to smoke things because I'm tired of buying chicken and pork and like freaking ribs at restaurants. I want to be the dealer. I want to I want to cut out the middleman. And so I've gotten really good at that. And it's like, it's cool to take pride in this, like, in like cooking.
And
we live in
I loved watching the Food Network growing up, I wanted to like be a cook when I grew up. And so I am mostly appalled. I actually don't hate the hot dish as a concept, because if you use the right ingredients and you seasoned it properly, like it can be really good. I mean, in a sense, like it's not much different than other like chicken and rice dishes. It's just that they don't normally have that flavor or whatever, And so when we make something like that, we season the chicken really, really well, and we make sure it's salted properly and that sort of thing. Like salt is honestly just like, if you, whatever seasoning you add in there, if you make sure your salt level is proper, it's like, the whole meal is like, it's like with a steak, you just need salt and pepper. And as long as you put enough salt on it, like you're going to have a good steak, assuming you cook it properly. But that's like, so we got, when we got married, we got Julia Child's Art of French Cooking. And every once in a while, we'll just like pick a recipe out of that, and we'll like go get all the ingredients, and we'll make a fancy dinner.
Can you get those ingredients where you're at? in that third world
Yeah,
country
I mean,
of South Dakota.
Yeah. No, honestly,
I'm just envisioning that all
we
the
have
grocery
pretty
stores
good-
is just white food for white people. And you're like, I need a basil leaf, please.
Well,
Please, I need a green onion.
It can be tricky for some of those more fresh ingredients. It can be, but we do also have. I don't know if you've heard of Azure Standard. They're like a nationwide, very popular with kind of the homeschool crunchy people, and basically they deliver organic, produce and bulk flour and that sort of stuff all around the country.
Okay.
So you can order from their website, and then the semi shows up once a month, and all of the homeschool moms just send like fish in a fishbowl when the food gets dropped, and everyone stands at the back of this thing and gets all their giant boxes, and then ordering pallets of bags of flour and sort of stuff. So through them we can get some more of those some of those ingredients that are maybe a little hard to find. But and then big
dude,
city,
wait a
Sioux
second.
Falls,
Here I am thinking I'm gonna send you guys relief. Y'all are already getting relief.
Yeah,
refugees, dude. Like refugees in Sudan. Y'all are getting a semi-truck of food.
My wife and I have tried really, really hard. This is the sad part. We live in South Dakota. We should be in the land of fresh milk and good steaks. And really, the local economies for farming have been so messed up by these big companies that we don't have, only up until recently, it's been getting better recently, but you don't have a lot of local high quality food, so we've tried really hard, and we personally have kind of tried to take a personal stand against buying most of your grocery store chicken, because it's all mass produced in a giant unhealthy warehouse. It's just not good. I don't want to get into that because I can talk a long time about that. But so we buy our meat from a place. Here's a little plug. Maybe you could get them as a sponsor. It's called Seven Sons
Not
Farm,
yet.
and they're a family-run farm, and they raise all of their cows and their pigs and their sheep and their chickens are all out in the pasture together, and they raise their animals right. And as a result, when we buy chicken, it's $13 a pound. But we don't waste,
Nah. So you're making chicken stock. You're making chicken salad.
Exactly,
you're making chicken soup. Yeah.
Right. We're not, and we portion it out. We don't need to gorge ourselves, because these days you go to the grocery store, you can buy, a giant package of chicken drummies for $5. And who cares if half of them get thrown away, or you just eat 20 of them or whatever. So
yeah, that's what I'm working with. Guys. That's why we need more subscribers on this podcast, and I need more views so I can afford. No. There used to be. I used to be able to. We're not as. We used to buy meat from this butcher back when I had a business that was doing well, and this was back before I switched to comedy full time. And man, I was crushing it. We used to buy meat solely from this butcher, and bro, it was a great experience, dude. They're all of everything they sold, their eggs, the milk, the butter, all of it was elevated. And you know what?
Yep.
We're back at Walmart now. But you know what? That's life. That's life.
Yeah, and the thing is, I try. I don't want to personally shame anyone who's buying those things. The real issue is the economic system that has allowed a company like Tyson to become the supplier of all of our chicken, and they basically blackmail all the farmers to having to be a part of their ecosystem, or else they can't make a living. And so, the options. But as we've gotten to the point where you can go, I can just pick a farm that's living across the country, and they can ship it to me in a frozen box. The options are expanding for people to be able to start their own farm and sell, high quality stuff. And hopefully we'll see the prices equalize, where, those prices will come down as more people do that sort of thing. But we've been getting raw milk from a local farmer who they're certified to sell raw milk, and they keep everything really clean, and they feed their 5 cows, fresh grass, and, and that milk is really good, and it's as cheap as what we'd get at the grocery store. So we can support, a local person, and we're getting something that we think is a better quality product. It's just you're buying something just down the road, and it's actually good, but for some reason in South Dakota, we really struggle with producing fine stuff. Like there's, when you find someone who's like a local artist, whatever, like it's not really that great. It's like we are really lacking in that kind of, I don't know, that desire to go make really, really cool stuff.
Yeah.
And I think it's starting to make a comeback, but we're,
one of these days. Hey, real quick, I got to do a quick ad read. Hey, y'all, this episode of Shallow is brought to you by Tyson Foods. Tyson Foods is a world-class food company and recognized leader in protein. When we think of Tyson, you probably imagine what is only a nugget of the larger picture that is Tyson Foods. Their products range from juicy ribeye at 5-star restaurants to fresh meat at the local butcher. So, guys, check out Tyson Foods, the future of foods. I know, but anyways, back to my guest who hates my sponsor, Isaac. I just googled Tyson Foods and read their about page.
Oh, you did? I was like, wow, that was crazy good. I was like, wow, that was awesome. No wonder you're an MC. That was magical. I can't even be mad. And then you were just reading.
Anyways, like Tyson Foods. Imagine just like how hard we go for like a butcher. Somebody going that hard for Tyson Foods. Where else can I get a ribeye for $3? A thin sliced, paper thin, translucent ribeye for $3. Tell me where you could get that. No, it's good.
It is. It's a struggle sometimes to find those high quality ingredients. So yeah, I mean, like we have to pick recipes. Sometimes we're like, oh, we can't afford to buy, a half a lamb, to like do this fancy recipe. So we made the garlic soup, like,
yeah.
So, it's like we pick and choose, but
I think that's probably one of my favorite, I think for a long time, before I met artists, I was blue collar. I don't know. I delivered pizza. What is a pizza delivery driver? Is that considered blue collar? Like I wasn't a welder.
Something like that.
Okay. So back when I finished Bible college, I worked at a church and then I delivered pizza and I just had no understanding of, like, if somebody was going to talk to me about the quality of meat, I was like, what are you, like, I'd never thought about that. Or like, hey, making a good meal or cooking or whatever. I just had no, then I started hanging out with artists. I'm not saying that artists are have the monopoly on the understanding of the world. Just people who are maybe a little more financially well off. Like people, like in my mind, I was like, oh man, I could get a meal at McDonald's for $3 and be full, which is it's something, a real sentence you can say. But if you say that to certain people, they will lecture you for 4 hours about why that $3 is not good in the long run. So it wasn't until I reached that point in my life where I hung out with people who were like, yo, like, hey, if you're going to cook a meal, like, why don't you go all out? Like, why don't you invest in what you eat the same way that you would invest in anything else? And then I started to think about it that way, that it's not like, hey, you're not, cheap isn't good. Like, cheap, it doesn't take much to go first class in certain areas. And
well, and especially like, we do not have like a huge budget. We're like very, we're not super well off, but what we do is like, my wife bakes bread and we buy a lot of like wholesale ingredients, and we do what we can to try and bring the cost down on anything we can so that we have money to maybe buy something like expensive meat, and like Costco is a huge friend too. We have to go an hour and a half to our Costco in Sioux Falls. And so we make a whole like day trip out of it. We go to Costco, we get our like big bulk groceries that like our cheese and some of those things that are cheaper at Costco. And then we go back home. We get a coffee because in Sioux Falls, you can get a good latte. And I don't want to, if any of my fellow Watertownians hear this podcast, I'm sorry. Almost all the coffee in our town is terrible.
Hey, what do you mean?
Coffee shops.
It's all ice cold. It's what is it? It's just ice cold coffee and big pumps of syrup, right? That's a coffee shop.
And this is the problem is like, man, we literally have like a new coffee shop start up like every year, and it's always the same. They don't know how to run their espresso machine, so the espresso tastes bad. They don't know how to steam the milk, so it's not light and frothy, and it's too hot, and it's like scalded. And then they just buy cheap Tirani syrup, and I'm like, why did you start a coffee shop?
For the love of the game.
Yeah, but that's the thing is like I bought a little Breville Bambino machine so I can make my own lattes at home. And so I make my own vanilla syrup and I make my own caramel syrup and I make lattes at home that are better than any of the coffee shops in town. So I just don't go buy coffee and it costs me $2 a drink instead of $5, you know?
Yeah. Hey, listener, open up your eyes. I know I just read a Tyson food ad, but also, you know, sometimes you can get a little fancy with your coffee. I got a Breville. It's a fun time. It's something to do. Yeah, I mean, also in the morning.
We actually here's another like, you know, random plug for my local South Dakota place. There's a little coffee roaster here called Eris Coffee. I think it's Aeris, and they are in a little town called Osceola. And I think it's a Mennonite family that runs this place, and it is good coffee. And the branding is actually really nice, which is that's also something you don't see a lot of good stuff coming out of South Dakota in the branding department. And, you know, it like, that's what we buy. We were like, wow, we found a local coffee place that's like, they're buying their coffee fair trade and they're getting good, like they're sourcing good coffee beans and they're roasting it really well. And then we make our drinks at home. And I'm like, man, this is great, you know? And that's the thing is you should never be shamed for being in a position where you have to buy cheap stuff, but you can even take that cheap Tyson chicken and you can learn how to season it properly and know how to cook. And once you do that, you start going, oh, what kind of, eventually you care enough where you're like, okay, you know what? I'm going to buy some better chicken or a better thing to go on the side. And you just have to care about trying to make something good and you'll just start applying that everywhere.
And once you've mastered good, open up a bag of Lay's potato chips and crumble some of that up and then put it on top of that Tyson chicken. Take that chicken up a notch and then take that pan straight to your church potluck in the Midwest.
Okay, so here's the thing.
This is fight over it.
Now, this isn't something that we get at potlucks, but this is here's a couple of like our actual kind of like local, what I would say like local delicacies. Walleye, which is our local fresh whitewater fish or white fish from our local freshwater lakes and stuff.
Of course.
And like walleye is a good fish. It's similar to cod. It's like you know, you can go fishing and you can catch some walleye and then you can go home and do a little fish fry and it's really good. And my preferred way of doing that is you take your fish and you basically you dip it in some egg and then you crumble up saltine crackers and you dip it in the saltine crackers and then you shallow fry that in some oil. And like,
sheesh,
you just get a giant plate of these little walleye strips and they're fresh from the lake and like, that's good. So like we do that in South Dakota.
When does the potato chip crumbles? You're losing me. I thought this was like a South Dakota.
You could elevate it. You could crumble the potato chips in with the saltines, I think, and add that in there. I think you could.
Yeah.
But we also do chislic, which historically was actually a lamb dish, but essentially it's so yeah. It's called chislic.
Pause. Hey. Listen, this isn't a Christian podcast, but I have to draw the line.
You have to bleep that.
I gotta draw the line at these South Dakota native foods. What are y'all eating out there? Pause.
Okay. No, so chislic is really good. Chislic is a cubed steak, or you know, it's either lamb or it's beef. Sometimes we'll do deer chislic, you know, every once in a while, but you basically cube it into about like an inch by an inch cubes, and then you tumble those and you season them really well, and then you deep fry it. And so you basically get like, you get super crispy skin and you get little bite-sized pieces of steak that's fully encrusted, which is actually a really, really great way of eating a steak. It really is.
I'm with that.
You know, that. In South Dakota, if you find a good like steakhouse that can make good chislic, like chislic is really good. So like we have some good stuff, but
guys, and I've been to South Dakota once last year. I'd love to come again. When I'm there, we'll hang out. We'll do all the things.
We got to go to Mount Rushmore.
I'm not going to eat chislic. I will go to Mount Rushmore. Pay my respects. Also, I'm going to see who I could talk to adding CC Winans on the rock. I don't know if I don't know if that's an email. I don't know if that's an email.
I don't know. They couldn't get Trump on there. So
they couldn't. Did he ask?
I think there was rumors going around. There
No
was like
way.
rumors going around that
No
they were
way.
trying to get it in the works, and like
No
I would have
way.
rioted. I'm not a rioter,
insane.
but that's something I would have. I would have said, don't deface. Like, we already put in so much effort defacing that rock for the people that came before, but I'm in charge now, and you're not going to come and deface it again. That's my position on it.
I heard Mount Rushmore not as big as it looks in the pictures.
No, false. I'm not even kidding you. Mount Rushmore is the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Wait a second.
Like,
okay, so then who is putting up this Mount Rushmore slander online?
Probably, you know what it is? I don't mean to talk bad about any particular group of people, but it's the Native Americans down the road who have Crazy Horse. And Crazy Horse is a half-finished sculpture of a Native American riding on a horse, but it's half-finished, and it never will be finished because if they tried, it would probably crumble because it's too ornate of a design. And technically, Crazy Horse is bigger. I believe that, like, technically, Crazy Horse is so big that, like, the faces of Mount Rushmore would fit on the face of Crazy Horse. So, like, in terms of scale, Crazy Horse is bigger. But
okay,
the Mount Rushmore monument is huge. And when you are standing at the bottom looking up at it, especially when you've got like the golden sunlight coming in and the pine trees around, it is literally one of the greatest feats of architecture in existence. And not a single death occurred in about, I think it was like 15 years or so that they took making Mount Rushmore. And they were hanging off the side of this thing on ropes and little wooden swings and blowing it up with dynamite. And not a single person died. And it is a beautiful piece of art. I understand the contention and I appreciate the contention about having, you know, the whole history of the United States and all that sort of stuff. But as far as artworks go, it's like a modern miracle of engineering and art. And when you stand there, it is just gorgeous. Like I really
15 years and no death. That is what an incredible, because back then, bro, people were dying.
I believe that I think they started that project in like 1915 or 1920 or somewhere in there. I mean, like that was very rudimentary technology. And
yeah.
Sheesh. And also Nicolas Cage, you know, went under there and found some gold. So
I've got to rewatch those movies, bro. Those were
yeah. They are good. But yeah, so like I'm biased. I'm from South Dakota, but like I've been to Mount Rushmore, I don't know, 4 or 5 times. And basically every time I forget how amazing it really is. And it's not, I can understand people saying like, oh, it's not as big as it looks in the pictures. But I feel like people who say that, I don't know, I feel like they are desensitized or something. Like when you're driving up these curvy roads through the mountains, and then you're like, you turn the corner and you see George Washington's face, and there's a whole bunch of tourists with cameras out on the side of the road.
Okay,
that are taking pictures.
Why did they put it in South Dakota?
That's a good question. I can't remember the history of all that, but I think that like. Yeah, that I'm gonna have to look that up again because I don't remember what the reasoning was. I know that like Gutzen Borglum, he had done other monuments before, and I think that it was basically the people of South Dakota were like, let's do our monument, you know, like let's do one.
Yeah.
So or something like that. But man,
and new sponsor, guys,
and it's awesome.
This episode of Shallow with a special guest from South Dakota is also sponsored by Mount Rushmore. Mount Rushmore National Park is a massive sculpture carved into the Mount Rushmore in the Black Hills region of South Dakota. Established in March 3rd, 1925, the subjects on the mountain are Theodore Roosevelt, Abraham Lincoln, Thomas Jefferson, and George Washington. Guys, if you're ever in South Dakota and you find yourself bored and you want to be wowed, try sponsor the show, Mount Rushmore. Or if you're like, hey, I want to see something that's half unfinished and will never be finished. I like the way you put that. It's like, it's not finished and it'll never be finished. Hey, man, go easy on Native Americans, dude.
No, it's not.
I mean, I know I dressed up as one. I know we went to powwows growing up, but like, please go easy.
Whoever's in charge of like that monument, like they charge. I I think you actually have to pay to go into Crazy Horse, because it's not like, you know, a public government thing. So you got to pay to go in there, but you can see it from the road. Mount Rushmore is free. You just walk in there. So you got to pay. And I think once a year they do another ceremonial little poof of dynamite to continue the work on the project. But it's literally been in the exact same state for
wait a
years
second.
or more.
You talking about Crazy Horse? They do more dynamite on it?
I think so. Every once in a while they do like one more little, like, you know, hey, we're gonna carve a little more of the statue.
That is probably the biggest gaslighting project I have ever heard of in my life.
And the thing is like, yeah,
it's charging people money to see something that's not finished, and then to justify taking people's money, being like, "Yo, we will be blasting one stick of dynamite a year just so we could justify taking your money, just so you know, hey, we're still working on it."
Yeah, and the thing is, this is all hearsay. We've never gone in because we have a cabin in the Black Hills. It's literally it was built out of a barn, old fallen down barn pieces, and it's like lots of mice in there, no running water, anything like that. But we would go hunting every year in this cabin. It was like a kind of a family heritage thing. We've got this little piece of property out there, and we can go hunting and stuff. And we have driven by Crazy Horse probably 30 times. And we've never gone because it's massive, so you can see it from the road. And you're like, I'm not going to pay to just drive in there and see this thing up closer, you know.
Listen, when I come to South Dakota, I'm gonna drop some coins, and I'm gonna take you to Crazy Horse.
I'll go with you, because what I actually would enjoy. I think you can. I don't know if it's a special events route, but you can do a hike or something where you can actually go up onto Crazy Horse and stand up kind of at the top underneath the actual face of Crazy Horse or something like that. I would do that. Like, you know, because I'm not saying that Crazy Horse isn't impressive. And the thing is if you want to be technical, Mount Rushmore wasn't finished either, because they had plans to do like more like lower body stuff, but the mountain got unstable and they said, oh, we're going to call it quits. But the thing is that like they basically said, we're done. And they christened it and they said, that's it. It's finished. You know, they're not like pretending like it's still a thing that's, you know, going on.
They don't do one stick of dynamite every other year to just be like, hey, we're going to put a tie. We're going to put a tie on George Washington.
I know. That would be kind of cool, though. Well, Abraham Lincoln was supposed to be doing this super epic, like popping his collar. And then they were like, oh, we can't risk it. You know, once you've gotten to a certain point, you're like, we can't risk ruining the rest of it, you know?
That's awesome. I like that. Guys, one of these days, South Dakota will be finished. And that's if Isaac Holzwarth has anything to say about it. Thanks for coming on the show, man. This has been special.
Hey, real quick, you gotta guess who you think I played. For anyone who well, I won't give any hints. Who do you think I played in like the church Christmas play, middle of South Dakota? And I will give hints with each guess.
I'm going to go with the obvious Joseph.
Nope. Okay, so here's your first hint. This was a pop culture crossover Christmas play.
A pop culture crossover Christmas play.
Mm-hmm.
Pop culture? What year? Mm-hmm. What year was it? What year was this?
This was probably in like, I would say probably, it's somewhere around 2008 or so.
2008. Oh, hold on a second. Did you play Obama?
Not quite. Okay, but you are unfortunately close. Okay.
Bill.
Okay.
2008. George Bush. Bill Clinton.
No. Okay. So here's the next hint. It was around the three wise men were the central focus of this play.
The three wise men central focus. Stephen Hawking?
Oh my. No, okay. So it was the three kings of music. See if you can figure out who the three wise men were, the three kings.
Elvis Presley?
That was one of them.
Okay, Elvis Presley. Oh man, the three kings of music. Freak. Mick Jagger. I don't know. Is that another one? Is he a king of music?
No, he wasn't. Nope. So I believe, if I remember right, the three kings were, it was Elvis, it was James
Michael
Brown.
Jackson. Okay.
No, it wasn't Michael Jackson, but James Brown was one of them. And then what was the third? Because now I'm giving it away a little bit here. I played James Brown in our church Christmas play. Okay, and this is the thing. I didn't do. They were smart enough to not put me in blackface. Okay, however, I did wear a wig. And
like an afro, like an afro.
Well, not an afro, because James Brown had kind of a slicked back, hairstyle, if I remember correctly,
like a Jerry curl.
And so then I wore a pink jumpsuit, and I delivered lines like "soul food, brother, soul food."
Oh man. And hey, man,
I believe
you're lucky. You're lucky. This doesn't exist. I was about to say you're lucky there's no video of this.
No, I'm pretty sure my mom probably has like a DVD copy of this somewhere, and I have never watched it, but I'd like to because I think it would be hilarious. I think I would die.
You have to,
and I will. I'll find it and I'll send you a copy.
I can't
and you
wait.
can watch it. And I mean, but it was that's the one line I remember is like Elvis Presley says something about like I don't know what kind of food is that. And then I was like, soul food, brother, soul food.
Wow.
And
hey, we're gonna get South Dakota. We're gonna get you guys. We're gonna get you guys some more food, and we're also gonna get you guys black people. I think you'll need some black people.
I think that would be good.
Of all ages. Sheesh, man.
Genuinely, kid, I don't understand who thought that was a good idea, but
well, I mean, you had to make do with what you had. You're like the kings of music, and they're like, hey, we need somebody to play one of these kings.
Oh man!
Hey, Isaac,
thank goodness it wasn't Michael Jackson.
It's sheesh. Sheesh. Which era? I mean, you could play white Michael Jackson.
That's true. I could. I could have done that.
Oh, that's awesome. Hey, man, it's been so good talking to you, man.
You too.
The thing is, speaking of tangents or whatever, the reason you and I connected with you, we haven't even gotten back to it. I reached out to you about a project. I think we've talked about and done everything else except that project. Occasionally, one day we'll get back to it. I've been thinking about it a lot.
I've been thinking about it a lot, and I've been writing down some notes. And when I'm finished up with this other project that I'm working on, and then I've got another little thing that I'm doing for Jonathan, I'll get back in touch with you, and I'll share with you what I've done, and hopefully we can.
I cannot wait.
Rolling on that project.
I cannot wait. We'll figure it out. Thank you guys. Hey, yo, this has been Shallow. Get your flip flops and go home. I really need to figure out a way. I need to figure out a way how to end the show. Grab your towel. Dry your feet off. Put your flip flops on. Go home. Thanks, Isaac.
Yeah, thank you so much.
All right, see ya.
Yep, bye.
Okay, you need to, can you stay on the show for a little bit? Because I need to upload the session. Okay, yours is uploaded successfully. Mine is finishing uploading. Okay, now it's saying uploaded successfully.